Hello everybody, News at 10 live. I hope you're hearing us well this morning. I hope you're gearing up for the weekend. I hope you're excited about that. We've got the news ready to bring to you. We've gone through the back pages and found out the best stories in football. We do it every single morning at 10 a.m. Let's get straight into those back pages. Starting with the Express, where we've got a big game, supposedly. It's a big friendly, England versus Germany.
Is it?
Well, it's seen as one of the biggest games in certainly in international football, England versus Germany. England versus Brazil at the weekend. You would think they would be exciting games, but somehow the England squad and the players who should be involved don't seem to give a shit, Sam. If you look at the back page of the Express, Danny snubs Gareth. Danny Drinkwater turns down England in injury crisis. He was coming back from a thigh injury, but he's said that he's not fit enough to go into that and get going and be in the England squad, which I find pretty outrageous if you ask me. If you go to the Metro, you can see Corey pays the penalty. We'll dive into that in a second. But again, England and Gareth, his poor little sad face there.
Poor Gareth, eh?
It's time to get serious. Glamour friendlies key, as Southgate says. Club versus country talk is nonsense. He's suggesting that he's spoken to all of these guys that aren't in the squad, man to man, and essentially
every single one of them.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to just bring them back for no reason, which I can kind of understand. But it turns the whole idea of these friendlies as a bit of a farce. If you look to the back page of the Telegraph, Southgate gambles on raw recruits. 3 to make debuts tonight as England take on Germany. You got Tammy Abraham, you got Loftus-Cheek, Joe Gomez could be involved as well. Let us know your thoughts. Are any of those guys ready for England, and would you start them in this game? The squad is pretty depleted. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll read them out in the comments. Heading to the Daily Mail, penalty shocker deals a blow for Northern Ireland World Cup bid. Let's get into that one. So it was a 1-0 defeat to Switzerland in the first playoff game, but the big controversy was a penalty for that goal that was given that you're not happy with.
It was so harsh. I mean, it was Shakira on the edge of the box going for an acrobatic volley. Corey Evans goes up to him. I suppose rule number 1 as a defender, don't turn your back. He turned his back.
Yeah.
Caught what looked like the majority of his shoulder. There was one Swiss player who really went, just a huge, vehemently telling the ref that was a penalty, and he gave it. I thought it was extremely, extremely harsh. But if you look at the game itself, Northern Ireland had 0 shots on target anyway. Switzerland could have scored 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So I think they might be Northern Ireland are going to be pissed off about the penalty, but 1-0, they could already be out. 100% they could already be out.
Yeah, so, but the bottom line is you've got to be so frustrated if you're a Northern Ireland fan, because you knew you were going to have pressure against you in this. Switzerland are a better team, better footballing side than Northern Ireland, but Northern Ireland, as we've seen time and again, are very resolute. So a 0-0 draw would have been okay. Michael O'Neill said before the game, just don't concede an away goal. That is what they have done. He's also said that they need to now channel the anger that's come from this.
Channel the anger.
With the Republic of Ireland in 2009, I remember Richard Dunn saying that they were so annoyed at their performance in the first leg against France that in the second leg they just went, fuck it, let's just go for this, and played some incredible football. And they were undone by a handball on that night, and so in a playoff game for a World Cup. So what I hope Michael O'Neill will be hoping for himself is that his squad can really defy the odds here and get through. Turn it on, use that, channel that anger. It's exactly what he's saying. Right. Do Northern Ireland have a chance now in this with an away leg in Switzerland coming up? It's a tough one, but you can see that they're absolutely devastated. Corey Evans saying that it was a disgraceful decision. Let us know your thoughts on it. Let's get into a quick one. I just want to get this out there because I saw it. This is in the Sentinel. So Stoke City chairman optimistic about new Peter Crouch contract. He's 36 is our Peter, and what I want to know is how long can Peter Crouch play at the top level? Because I think this guy can play until he's 43, 44, 45, because he has no pace, he's never had any pace, and he's ginormous. And there's quality there.
I still don't understand his body. Every time I look at it, it just doesn't look like it should stay together.
He's 37 in January, but he's come off the bench quite a few times for Stoke and saved them. I still think, this is another thing we talk about in the One for the Weekend podcast, I still think there should be an option for him to be in the England squad.
Oh,
As
God.
a final 10 minutes, you need to chuck him on.
I'm surprised you haven't said Andy Carroll as well.
Well, Andy Carroll can't stay fit, whereas Crouchy, even at the age of ripe old age of 38, is still banging him in. But it looks like he's going to be offered a new contract soon, and I, for one, am delighted with it. The day that Peter Crouch leaves is a sad day for me. Eden Hazard.
Yeah, Eden Hazard, right, this is coming from the back of the Daily Star. Now it's saying Hazard drops a real hint, talking about, because Eden Hazard has been linked with Real Madrid for the last couple of years, stayed at Chelsea, obviously he was Player of the Year a couple of years ago, and he's showing this sort of fantastic form. Now he has said Zinedine Zidane would be a dream to have as a coach. He said, he was my idol when I was a little boy. I have a lot of respect for him, and of course I don't know what will happen in my career in the future, but to play under him would be magnificent.
I guess Zidane's got to last the season first, doesn't he?
I mean, Eden, it's a classic, a semi sort of Ronaldo type quote, said, only God knows where my career goes in the future. It's what players do. They drop a seed and then they carry on playing football. But if Eden Hazard does keep up this form, Real Madrid are having the sort of season where they're going to have to sign a Galactico in the summer, because that's what Real Madrid do when they have a bad year. They bring in someone magnificent, and Eden Hazard on his day is probably one of the best players in the Premier League.
Definitely.
So, do you think that Eden Hazard will join Real Madrid at some point in his career, or do you think it will happen in the summer? Let us know in the comments, yes or no.
It does feel like he continuously hints that he's keen for that move. It doesn't go away, and so inevitably he's going to end up there, surely, I would imagine.
Got everyone saying what age they think Peter Crouch is going to play up to. Dominic Redpath says 44, 46. Matt Sunizun says 40 is the limit.
Gregor Galway, he will never give up. I love that. Edward Cramp saying, why would Drinkwater want to play for England just to make the numbers when he wasn't even picked after Leicester won the league? That's before you even bring in the fact he's coming back from injury. I think the big talking point here is the fact that he feels like he can do that easily. And it's not just him. It'd be unfair to just scapegoat Danny Drinkwater. But you've got all these players. You've got Pochettino saying that Harry Kane is okay. Something's not right. And the bottom line is that these international friendlies now are turning into an absolute farce, because the idea behind them is to play a competitive game of football where you see how good your squad is, see how you need to change it. And I feel sorry for Gareth Southgate, because he's got a squad there that you've probably got about 6-7 players in there that are not going to get anywhere near the squad once everyone's back, because they'll all turn up when it comes to the World Cup.
Yeah, but international friendlies have always been a farce. It's just they're becoming more farcical than they have done. It's more the fact that there's a sheer number of them. There's so many. I think this is the last international break until February, March, because the FA Cup kicks in, etc., etc. But there's just so many international breaks, and these damn friendlies, and all clubs care about is, I hope my players don't get injured. Not, we're playing Germany, we're playing Brazil. Can't wait for that game.
It has to be restructured. It really does. Crabjab saying, quoting Eden Hazard from 2014, that makes no sense at all. Oh. Well, he said it again. That's the point. This is what we're saying with the Real Madrid story, is that it keeps coming back.
He's either said it again, or the Daily Star are regurgitating a quote that is 3 years old. How dare a newspaper do that? They've never done that before, have they?
Great comment. No, they wouldn't do that. Dominic Redpath, the robot will never stop. Let's talk about Wilshere and being more important than Ozil. There's a line from the Evening Standard where Tony Adams has spoken with them after the premiere of the new film 89, which talks about that great Arsenal side that won against Liverpool, had to win 2-0 and did so on a Friday night to win the league and steal the league off Liverpool. He's insisting that Jack Wilshere is more important than Ozil. So get voting right now if you're watching this live. We'll put a poll card up as well if you're watching it after the live show at 10. Is Ozil more important than Jack Wilshere for Arsenal Football Club, or the other way around? Because I understand, I guess there's two ways of looking at it. One, Ozil has done more for Arsenal Football Club. He creates more assists. He has more productivity. He's starting for Arsenal. Jack Wilshere's not even starting for them. But it looks like he's going to be out the door very soon. It also looks that Jack Wilshere is on a bit of an upturn in his career.
Well, he's holding his fitness now, which is the main thing about Jack Wilshere.
So, but who is more important to Arsenal Football Club? And if you're saying that Ozil has been the best player for Arsenal for a long time, if you're saying Jack Wilshere is more important than him now, then is that quite a damning statement for Arsenal Football Club if he's the key man?
I genuinely think that if Ozil does leave Arsenal this summer, there won't be any sort of repercussions on how good Arsenal will be next year. I think Ozil, as I said, he's a luxury player that does win games when he does win games, but he's not the sort of player that's going to make you really... I don't know how to phrase this correctly, but I just think that Arsenal they'll be able to replace Ozil very, very easily. And I probably do say the same thing about Jack Wilshere, but going forward this season, spine, grit and fight, the three key words for what Arsenal don't have at the crucial points in games. I think that's why Tony Adams is saying someone like Wilshere, someone who actually looks committed, because so many Arsenal fans have said that their players are not fit to play for the shirt that they're wearing. Yeah. Jack Wilshere has that hunger, and he's a different type of player than what Arsenal have. And you got Aaron Ramsey, he kind of does what Mesut Ozil does. They have loads of creative players. Creating chances has never been Arsenal's problem. But midfield and controlling a midfield, what they used to do when they had Patrick Vieira, used to have Emmanuel Petit, they used to control the midfield. Now they don't do that anymore. Coquelin gets overran, so does Wilshere, so does El Nene.
Lets them down sometimes.
And that's what they want Wilshere to do. Now, I can understand Tony Adams' point of view.
We'll go into the comments in just a second, but the final thing that Tony Adams was saying, that the main reason why he is more important is that he's come through the youth setup. That's a massive thing for Arsenal, and there were 6 youth team players who came through that side that won back in 1989, and now he's saying that Iwobi and Wilshere need to be the future, and the academy needs to be the future of Arsenal. I think you're looking at it with rose-tinted glasses a little bit, Tony Adams, because that's not football as we know it anymore. You have to go and find the best players in the world if you want to compete for the Premier League. So I'm not sure, but let us know your thoughts. Do you agree with Tony Adams? Here we go.
Loads of comments.
Yeah, Kieran R. Wilshere overhyped, injury prone, doesn't get near Winksy. Harry Winks, who is injured apparently at the moment.
A bit like Harry Kane,
yeah. And Wilshere isn't at the moment. God, here's a name. Matzenenzen Hikalovsky. Sorry if it's wrong. No, Wilshere is pretty overrated simply because he's not been available.
Yeah.
Berylicious, how he's hardly played a game for them in the last few years. Ozil can at least stay fit.
I think that's the point. That's a little part of it as well, as grass is green on the other side. Because he hasn't played, he seems like an option that could improve you because you haven't seen the team with him in. Dominic Redpath here saying Wilshere is class. We all remember he tore apart Barcelona in his attitude, and his extracurricular activities tangled him down. If he does calm down off the pitch, that's an important aspect of any footballer.
Yeah, and I think carrying on from what you said there, Sam, Berylicious saying he's being sentimental, which sadly doesn't mean shit nowadays. Wilshere and Guna Vakarian. Wilshere had only one decent game, Barcelona, and that's it.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Let us know your thoughts on Wilshere or Ozil. Who is better? We'll be back on Monday. Subscribe to Ball Street, hit that like button, and we'll see you on Monday.
Take it easy.